little more difficult to read. The scanner didn't pick them up as well. So this one starts, again, fairly easy. You're going to notice over on the side there's a couple diameter circles, which should be pretty simple for you guys to do at this point.
Is there a way to offset on both sides instead of just having to do it one at a time?
No.
There's not.
Not even in the other programs. Even if you go to the SolidWorks or Inventor, there's those things. No good deal.
Sounds like they need me to invent it then.
There you go.
It's my paycheck.
You are one coding course away from programming. So from here, the one I want to draw your attention to is, and we kind of do a little bit of print reading here, right? So print reading, you should know that this keyway is giving you a height and a width. The width is going to be the first measurement here. Okay? It's always going to be the first measurement. So whenever you see these that are listed this way, you should know that the 0.25 on this one is going to be how wide this guy is by the height. So this guy should be pretty simple. I'm going to get from my inside circle, we're going to go up how far? Oh. Remember, the width is always first, so I'm going to go up
Right, 0.18.
right? And then I'm going to go over point.
Or wait, it's the rest of 125.
Right.
It's leave it.
So I'm going to go over each way 0.125. And then I'm simply going to trim these out. This should be very similar to the last one that we did. Almost like it's the exact same thing. It's kind of is. So there's my keyway. And then from there, I need to put in a couple of other things. The first thing I need to put in is the center circle. So you're going to notice at the bottom, there are two circles that they list. Okay? The one that we're really going to focus on for a second here is this guy, this diameter 3.25. That's the center circle you see here. And if you want to put it on your center layer, you can. That part's up to you. But I need a diameter 3.25. So it should look something like that. And I'm also going to put in some lines here. They tell me that there's a center line here going straight away at 0 degrees. That one should be pretty easy. Put it out. I don't know how long it is, so there. Looks great. And then it also gives me a center line, and you can kind of see this dimension they give you here is at 45 degrees. So if you remember correctly, I'm going to get a line. I'm going to snap it to the center, and we haven't used this in a little while, but this polar snap. Okay, so at the bottom, the little arrow next to polar snap is going to give you the ability to change degrees. So I'm going to click that guy. I'm going to click 45 degrees because it tells me this is at 45, and it should allow me to lay this guy in at 45 degrees. So again, I'm going to get a line. I'm going to snap it from the center. I'm going to come down, turn on my polar snap, make sure it's blue, and the arrow next to it, I'm going to want to go to 45 degrees. And that's going to give me my 45 degree angle. And again, I don't know exactly where it goes, so there. That's good. What's up?
I cannot see anything.
Cannot see this guy?
Yeah, anything over there because it's red.
Huh?
That red side of it.
The red?
Yeah.
The red sucks. Got it. I'm going to put on the regular layer. How's that?
Right.
Better? Alright, so now I have my center circle. That's 3.25, and I have these two lines, and you're just gonna have to imagine that those are on my center layer. Alright? So the next thing I really need is some information here of what these slots are gonna be, right? So I'm gonna look up here at my notation, and it's gonna tell me that there are 8 of them, right? So 8x, so there's 8 occurrences of these. They're a radius of 0.25, and they're equally spaced. So this is pretty awesome for me, because I know I really only have to make one of them, right? Because we just talked about the array tool. So I need to make one of them, and then I can just pattern it around. So the easiest way to do this is, if you notice, this circle is going to fall on that 45-degree and this center circle. So I'm over here. I'm going to put a radius, right? They told me radius 0.25 right there. Wrong layer. So right where those guys meet, I'm going to go 0.25 circle. So that part was pretty easy. And they also tell me that there is one right here, right? So I'm going to do 0.25. Remember, they're all 8 of them are 0.25 slots. So from here, I think the easiest way to do this, and it's not the only way, but the easiest way is if I use my intersect snap right where that circle meets the center circle, I'm going to be able to pull this out, and again, remember I have that polar snap, so that's awesome. I don't even have to guess where that is. It's going to lock it right in at 45-degree angle from there and there. That's never mind.
Say that again.
Scratch that. I didn't
Okay,
say
good.
that. So this guy, we offset, sorry. So I'm gonna offset this thing. I'm gonna offset this line, and I'm gonna offset it, how big? 0.25, right? That's the radius. So I'm gonna offset this guy that way, and this guy that way. Okay, so if I lost you there, I'm gonna offset. And they told me the radius, so from the center of the circle to the outside edge is 0.25 for this guy. So I'm going to go 0.25, and then I'm just going to click that center line each side, top and bottom. And I should get something like that. And do the same thing for this center line at the bottom. And that one would actually work with the polar snap. That's the way I do it. No? Offset?
It was doing my outer circle, not my inner.
Offset,
I did offset.
0.25. And then you're going to click the line. Above and below. You use this 0.25 circle. Dynamic.
No, I did something different. I don't know what I did, but it's been,
You got it.
yeah, I did an array.
Yep.
Put it
You do
around
that too.
45
Like I said,
degrees.
there's a bunch of ways you can do it.
Yeah.
The one that I messed myself up on is last time I did this guy, the intersect, and then just did a line out. I patterned it out. You can do either way. Did you get it?